good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to Peachy Pilates. No matter what time of day you've chosen to do this workout, you've picked it because you need a good stretch. So that is all we're going to do today. Just find some nice and strong stretches for all over that body from head to toe. We're going to start standing and then we'll get down on the ground for a little bit of deeper stretches, but all you really need is your body here today. We're going to start with your feet just about hip distance apart. So you want about maybe a fist or two between those feet, between those knees, and then you're just going to stand up and try to draw the shoulders down your back away from those ears. We'll take 3 big expansive breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more just like that. And then from here, we're going to head into our classic Pilates roll down. Start by nodding your chin towards your chest. There's your first step in that roll down. Your shoulders are going to start to go with you. Think like gravity is pulling you down towards the floor. Now, as you pull down, reach with the fingertips and send the back of your belly button up towards the sky. So you're pulling 2 directions, and that's just going to create a little bit more activity down your spine, support the low back, and then just know if you need to bend the knees a little bit here, that's always an option as well. We're going to take 3 of these roll downs in different directions. So here's your first one, just hang heavy. And then from here, start to tuck your tailbone under. 1 bone at a time is going to restack, but can you feel more space between every single vertebra as you make your way back to stand? You're still reaching those fingers oppositionally to the floor, and then your shoulders, neck, and head are the last thing to come up nice and tall. Once you feel tall, we're going to take that roll down once over to the right and once over to the left. I'll walk you through it. Left arm's going to reach straight up for the sky. Now, instead of nodding your chin, rolling straight forward, you're going to start to take a little side bend over to the right. Chin nods towards your chest at the right side, and then you're going to roll all the way down, reaching your hands outside the right leg as much as you can. Again, if we need to bend the knees, we bend the knees. And then as you take this little twist, you're looking underneath your left arm. You feel that stretch across the low back, the side of the low back, QL, which tends to get pretty tight. And then just try to hang out heavy. And then roll all the way back up where you came from. So that left hand is going to go up overhead, and then you'll unfold like a flower blossoming and come right back to center. Same thing on the other side. Right hand's going high for the sky. Start to roll down that left leg. Chin nods towards that left side. Roll, roll, roll. You might feel a difference on one side than the other. If we've been sitting a lot, maybe at a computer, maybe driving, this is going to feel pretty tight, pretty tense. But do your best to send your breath into that side of your back, side of your torso. Try to relax those muscles as much as you possibly can. And then we're coming up the exact opposite way, so that right hand's lifting up overhead as we roll up 1 bone at a time, growing nice and tall at the top. And then dropping that hand once we're there. Amazing work. Feel nice and warm all the way down your spine, all the way down those legs. I'm going to have you open your legs out nice and wide. So you can just start to step those feet as wide as they can go. They don't have to be as wide as the mat, but you definitely want them wider than your hips here. Gonna start with a similar side bend to what you just started that roll down with these nice wide legs. I'm gonna reach my left arm all the way up overhead. Right hand can come to your hip, to your thigh, and then take that nice big side bend over to the right. So I'm looking for expansion in the left side of my torso and a little crunch in the right side of my torso. Can you just pulse this stretch? Get a little further with each pulse, reaching out those fingertips, but can you keep your shoulders out of your ears? We're here for 4, for 3, for 2. Hold that side bend. I'm going to start to make my way all the way down towards my right leg. See if you can grab for that right ankle. Again, little twist. This time, feel that big stretch in the backs of your thighs. And then just make your way down to center with those hands. From here, I'm going to have you start to bend your right leg and then straighten your right leg. Bend your right leg, straighten your right leg. Nice big stretch in the inner thigh on that left side when you do this. Just that right leg bending and straightening. So starting with this single side. Next time that right leg's bent, we're gonna hold it bent. Our left hand is gonna come directly under our gaze towards the center of the mat. We're taking a big twist, reach the right hand all the way for the sky. Can you look up at those fingertips? And then think about both hands reaching in two opposite directions. 3 big breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth, just like before. And then after that third breath, bring both hands back down to the mat. Keep your right knee bent. We're just gonna turn over to the right side. So toes face towards the right here. Hands are still down on the ground, and then you're just feeling this nice big runner's lunge. From here, start to drop that left knee towards the ground. As it taps, you're gonna untuck those left toes. Nice big hip flexor stretch here. Find that support with your midline. Inner thighs hug that center line. And then you're gonna reach your hands all the way up for the sky. Little baby back bend. Really feel that hip flexor open up. Hold on to your balance here. It's gotta work hard. 3 more breaths. Nice opening across the chest. Make sure to protect your low back. And then after that third breath, you can bring those hands all the way down, tuck those left toes under, and then make your way back to that center forward fold. 2 nice wide legs, big inhale. Exhale, tuck that tailbone, roll all the way up, and we'll do that same exact series on the second side. Starting with your nice big side bend. Left hand goes to that hip, that thigh. Right hand's coming all the way up overhead. Big stretch, feel the expansion in the right side of your torso. You might feel different on this side since you've already found those stretches on the first side. Let's pulse this out, get a little bit deeper. Every time you reach, really feel that length through your rib cage. Every time you reach, you're stretching those muscles all the way from that right hip out those right fingertips. Let's do 3, 2, and then hold that stretch on that last one. Big inhale. Exhale, start to roll down, reaching for that left ankle. Once you've got that left ankle, we're gonna start to make our way all the way down to center. Both hands land right in front of your gaze, and then you'll bend and straighten that left knee. Bend and straighten that left knee, finding that nice big stretch down that right inner thigh. Hands are there for support. Make sure you use them for balance. Finding that deeper stretch every time, noticing the differences in the hip from one side to the other, and then hanging on to that little lunge. Bringing your right hand right underneath your gaze. Make sure you're not locking out that right knee too heavy. And then start to reach for the sky with that left hand. Can you look up at those fingertips? Stretch both arms in 2 directions. Big chest opening here. Find this twist, wringing out your center. Big inner thigh stretch. And then slowly make your way back down. Both hands come right in front of the gaze. We're still bent in that left knee. We're gonna start to turn those toes over to the left so we can come into our runner's lunge. Find your balance here first up on your toe, big calf stretch, reach that heel back. And then start to drop that knee, untuck those toes, find your center, find your balance, and then lift both hands straight up towards the sky, little baby back bend. Now my hips are nice and square. I'm thinking about that right hip driving forward to find that deeper stretch internally in my psoas. Now 3 more big breaths in this position. And then this time I'm gonna go ahead and drop both hands down. And instead of propping myself back up, I'm gonna send my left knee back to meet my right. Toes are gonna kiss, knees go out wide, and we're taking a nice big extended child's pose. Hips reach for those heels. Fingertips reach as far as they can out in front of you. Big stretch both sides of the torso. Big opening across the heart. And even bigger opening across those hips. Try to relax the glutes as heavy as you can. We're taking 3 more breaths here. Always think expansion on that inhale and support on your exhale. After your last breath, use your center, use your core to lift yourself all the way back to hands and knees. And then walk those knees right underneath your hips for a nice big cat-cow. On the breath in, we're dropping the belly down, reaching the head, the tailbone towards the sky. And on the breath out, nice big contraction, belly button to sky, just like we talked about in that roll down. Chin nods in, we're looking between those legs. And then we'll go ahead and take a few more rounds with the pace of your breath. So it's your breath, your body, not mine. Listen to what it's telling you as far as range of motion and as far as speed. You want to think about your heart going through your shoulder blades. And then let's just do one more of these. Go ahead and find your neutral, make your way to sit towards those heels, and I'm gonna swing my legs all the way around so that I can go ahead and lie down on my back. From here, you wanna hold on to the backs of your thighs for support, pull the belly button in, and then slowly roll down one bone at a time until you can release that neck back behind you. Once you're lying down, just walk those heels a little bit closer towards your seat so that those knees are bent straight up towards the sky. Same kind of distance between the knees and feet like we talked about starting in your class. From here, we're going to come into an exercise called pelvic cluck. All I want you to do is start with your pelvic rock. So you're going to pull your navel down towards the mat, tuck your tailbone slightly under. Notice that your pubic bone, it's higher than the hip bones when you come into this imprinted position. You want to set those hands like a little triangle on your pelvis to feel this, do so. Breathe in as you come back to neutral spine, hips, pubic bone go steady, and then breathe out as you pull right back down. We're going to do 2 more like this. Try to keep your glutes relaxed, your backs of your thighs relaxed. Bring it internally into the core. Neck stays nice and open, nice and long. And then next time you're back at that neutral, pause for me. We're going to try to tip your pelvis over to the right. So left hip bone gets higher than the right. Then you're going to pull the navel down to imprint. We're going all the way around, think clockwise. Left goes lower than the right, and then you're back at your neutral spine. So you're going right, imprint, left, back to neutral. Right, imprint, left, back to neutral. If you want to bring those arms back down by your sides, you can. You're really finding this internal core support with your pelvic floor here. You're also relieving any tension that may build up across your low back as you imprint the spine. Feel that release. One more in this direction, and then we're going to start to go counterclockwise from here. Back at neutral, take that inhale, recollect, tip over to the left, pull to that imprint, tip over to the right, come back to neutral. So super, super tiny, isolating move, but very important for that strength across your abdominals. These muscles of your pelvic floor, they hold up everything in your torso while you're walking around, and gravity is trying to bring it down. So you really want to find that deep strength and support. Let's do 2 more here. On the last one, we're just going to go halfway. So you're going to pause when your spine's imprinted. Pubic bone higher than those hip bones. Try to pull the belly button down, keeping our neck as relaxed as we can. From here, let's send the right leg up to tabletop. Find your core. Left leg's going to meet the right leg, both legs at tabletop. You're trying to smash that navel down to the mat underneath you. And then start to breathe in for toe taps. Your right foot's going to drop back down. Breathe out as it lifts right back up. Breathe in to drop. Breathe out to lift. So goal here is to keep that core connected on the way down and on the way up. Notice how it's my thigh bone, my knee that's moving, and it's not just the lower half of my leg collapsing. So that's super important here. You're trying to button the back of your belly button to the mat the entire time. Then I want you to focus on trying to exhale to initiate before your knee starts to pull up. So can you think inhale down, start to exhale, then scoop the knee up using the rest of that exhale, the rest of that support. Now this here is creating strength in your core to support your low back, also freeing up the joints in the front of those hips, trying to keep that neck, that head relaxed. Keep on breathing. We've got 2 more sets. It's slow with control. And then after this last one, I'm just going to bring my right knee closer in towards my chest and walk that left leg all the way out long down onto my mat. From here, try to pull that right knee a little bit closer towards your chest. Feel that nice release in the back of your hip. So can you stay relaxed in the back body and think about sending your breath into your hip joint from here. Both feet relaxed. You don't have to worry about that imprint or that neutral on this stretch. Just do the best you can to find this opening across your hip. Maybe starting to walk that knee a little bit wider out towards shoulder distance instead of directly in towards that chest. Take 3 big breaths here. And then start to bend your left knee, set that foot back down on the ground. This right ankle is going to cross over that left knee and bend out wide towards the side. So a little bit of a different release here. Think like your figure 4. Maybe that's enough opening for you right now. Maybe you want a little bit more. You do want more, you're going to reach through, grab for that vertical thigh, so the left thigh in this instance. A little bit of activity in both feet for support. Now, deepen even more. Can you keep your shoulders and your neck relaxed as you kick that left leg straight up towards the sky and then bend it back to table. Straight up towards the sky and bend back to table. Can you breathe out on the way up? Breathe in, try to get deeper into your stretch as that knee bends. Super, super deep, so do the best you can. Two more. Nice big breaths. And then release that leg, set the left foot down, unwind. We're doing the same set of stretches on the second side. Left knee comes in towards our chest, reaching for that shin as the right leg unfolds. Do the best you can, relax into that hip. Notice the differences from one hip to the other. It's pretty powerful to notice those differences from one side of your body to the next. You might be able to get that knee a little closer to your chest on this time. Maybe it's the opposite. Never want to force anything, so just let those hands assist you in the stretch, but try not to move past any range of motion that feels uncomfortable. So you never want to feel uncomfortable. Start to bring that knee out towards shoulder distance, so out towards that outer edge of your mat. Feel the difference stretching in that direction. And then just slowly start to bend that right knee, set that foot down wherever feels comfortable, and then cross that left ankle over that right knee. Opening on this side, remember, always different. Feel that opening across the backs of your hips, your glutes, your piriformis. Get super tight, like that little pinch, and causes pain down that sciatic nerve. So really pay attention to your body as you try to open up the hips here on either side. Pick your stretch, so pause or reach through, grab that vertical thigh. If you're grabbing that vertical thigh, activity in both feet as you start to straighten the right leg and bend that right knee. Each time you straighten, notice how you can bring the leg a little bit closer to you, and then you're trying to keep it that closer distance towards you as you bend back to table, and you really feel the power in that hip stretch as you bend back to table. That's why I want you to inhale there so you can hopefully find expansion in your hip instead of gripping or clutching onto those muscles. You really want to be able to open them. 2 more here, or 2 more breaths, holding whichever stretch you're in. And then we're going to go ahead and unwind. Feet and knees are going to come nice and close together here. Feet a little bit out from under the knees. So you don't want them directly under the knees, a little bit extended here. We're going to pull your belly button down back to imprint. Can I keep my inner thighs glued together? Turn on the muscles in my seat, my peach, and then start to peel your spine away from the mat into a bridge. So starting with the tailbone, the low spine, rolling all the way up until I've got that nice diagonal line from the ribs to the hips, out my knees. Really squeeze the glutes, press into the feet, press into the inner thighs. And then you're going to roll down starting with the heart. So similar articulation of the spine like we started class with, that rolling sensation. A little bit different here. Obviously now we're working against gravity instead of with it. We're just going to do 2 more of those. So pulling the belly button down in print, turning on the seat, peel as slowly as you can. Hips nice and close to those ribs, and then find that expansion in the front half of your body at the top. So think about your hips reaching over the knees towards the other side of the room. Try to keep your neck, your shoulders relaxed as you drop just the heart. Tuck those hips even closer to the ribs. Think about that pelvic clock, and then set one bone at a time down, relieving any tension in the low back, finding space between those vertebrae. One more like this. Make sure you're engaged anytime that seat is lifted away from the mat so we don't cause the backs of the thighs to cramp up. Strengthening the backs of the thighs, of course, but we're also promoting circulation, blood flow in this bridge position. From here, one more big inhale, relax that neck, and then exhale, roll all the way down with control. And then once you're all the way down, you're just going to roll right on over to your side. So start to scoot those hips back. Knees can just stack on top of one another, and then you're going to lie down on that bottom arm. It's all the way out straight. You'll see why in a second. So now my other arm, my top arm, is going to reach straight out in front of my shoulder for the floor here. So bottom arm out underneath your head, top arm straight out in front of you. We're going to start to do a nice big shoulder opener from here. This top arm is going to start to make its way back towards that bottom arm. Try to keep it as close to the floor as you can, and then you're going to continue that circle back behind that top arm as far as you can. Again, try to keep the hand as close to the ground as you can, and then you're coming all the way back around, drawing that half circle. So like a half circle, half moon shape with the arm. You're going all the way up overhead. Your chest is going to start to twist as you go back behind you. Maybe you're following that arm with your gaze, and then you're coming all the way back around. Listen to your body. Nice big breath in as you breathe. Open up the heart, open up the ribs, and then exhale to come back in. 3 more of these. Really feel that shoulder opening. It's super deep here. My shoulders are so tight, so I can't even go very far. But if you can go farther than me, absolutely fine. Breathing in. Open, open, open. Boy, does that feel good. One more like this. Ooh, felt a little crack. And then come all the way back. And top hand's going to go on your hip so we can open up those hips. From here, just my top knee is going to open up towards the sky. Think of it sort of like a clam. And then just glue that top knee right back down. Top knee opens, top knee closes. Try to lengthen your torso as much as possible. So can you use this hand to almost pull your hip down towards the opposite side of the mat, really picking up those bottom obliques from the mat. Now this is all we're doing side lying, just 2 exercises on each side. Let's go for 4 more of these. Feel that work in your seat, but really opening in the hips, so try not to let those hips move. Exhale on that opening. And then once you're done with that last one, just relax both legs down. You'll prop yourself up to sit and swing those legs all the way around for those same 2 exercises on the second side. So legs are stacked, doesn't really matter how they are exactly to start. You're lying all the way down on that bottom arm, and then my top arm's coming straight out in front of me to draw those half circles. You'll breathe in as your arm starts to travel back. Maybe you follow it with the eyes, reach back, see if you can get it nice and close to the floor, and then come all the way back around. So there's also some rotation happening in your rib cage, happening in your torso. I definitely have more range of motion on this side, so notice the differences from one side to the other. Using your breath to help you find even more stretch, even more expansion, and then we'll just do 3 more of these. This one feels so good. This would be great to do like in bed right before you get up or right before you go to sleep, because you could just lie on your bed and do this exact same exercise. We'll do 1 more here. And then that top hand will make its way around and all the way to your hip, so you can start to open for your clamshell. So think, pull your hip down towards that bottom edge of the mat, lifting those obliques up, 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 and then opening that top knee and closing that top knee. Exhale as you open. You want to support your hip joints with your muscles. Try to bring that top shoulder out of your ear if your neck is trying to tense up. This move is very small, so again, don't feel like you need to force it. You never want to feel uncomfortable throughout a workout like this. We'll just do 4. Slow with control. Beautiful. Once you're done with this 4th one, just bring those legs down, take a breath. Then we're going to prop ourselves up to take a seat, and we'll end in a seated position. So you want to go cross legs here, but if the hips won't relax, won't open up, you might want to fold your mat up so you can prop yourself up a little higher. So hips higher than the knees will allow you to release those hips if you don't have that flexibility to sit in your cross-legged position. Now from here, I'm just sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take some more arm stretches. Whichever arm you want to start with is just fine. I'm going to cross my right arm over my chest and then grab on somewhere to that arm with your left. Pulling it across, you're trying to open up your back. So the opposite muscles that you opened up in that half moon, that half circle. 3 big breaths here. Remember, your arm can go down more or up more, depending on where we feel like we need the stretch. And then we're going to go into your tricep from here. So classic arm stretches. You'll bend that elbow, bring the hand back behind your head, and then just try to stretch out that tricep, the back part of your arm, keeping your head as lifted as you can. Everyone's going to be a little bit different here. Grow that spine nice and tall. Same 3 breaths on this side. And then after that 3rd breath, we'll do those same stretches on the 2nd side. Shake out those arms, give yourself a chance to recover. And then left arm crosses over that chest. We hold on somewhere with that right arm so we can pull our shoulder out of our ear and feel that nice big opening across our upper back. Again, don't try to force it here. Listen to your body. Arm goes higher or lower depending on what we feel like we need on this side. And then we'll go ahead and transfer right into that tricep stretch from here. Both sides different. Pulling that elbow towards your midline, sliding your hand down the middle of your back. Trying to grow as tall as possible. Oh yeah, I feel the back of my arm stretching a whole lot on this one. And then take those big 3 breaths, expanding and thinking about your inhale, making its way all the way into the back of your arm. After you've taken that 3rd breath, relax those arms down by your sides. We're going to take a couple neck rolls, drop your chin down towards your chest. It's just a half circle, like that shoulder roll. So it's right ear to right shoulder, down chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, down chin to chest. So rolling out the neck, kind of like we did with the pelvis in that pelvic clock. As you drop your ear towards your shoulder, can you feel as much expansion as possible in the side part of your neck? And then don't forget that stretch in the back of your neck. It feels really nice as you drop the chin towards your chest. Listening to your body here, moving as slow as it wants to move. And then next time you're even on both sides, you can look right back up to center. We're going to take a spine twist from here. I'm going to start to turn my heart towards the right. My left hand's going to go right in front of me, and my right hand goes right behind me. Can you lift even taller in your spine? And try to look past that right shoulder. So twisting the neck this time instead of rolling. Expansion across your torso like we talked about at the start of class with those nice roll downs from side to side. And then slowly, carefully start to walk the hands all the way around. Same thing over to the other side. Looking past that left shoulder, right hand ends up right in front of me. Left hand ends up right behind me. Grow as tall as you can. We've got one more stretch. After this, you're going to come back to center, bring both hands to the knees, and roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Up towards those ears, back behind you, and then down into those back pockets. 3 more in this direction. Continue to breathe. And then just go ahead and reverse the direction of that circle, bringing the shoulders back, up, and down in front of you. Find that opening. Anything else you feel like you need to do before you finish for the day, absolutely be my guest. This is just your guide. Go where you need to go. 3 more. And then guess what? That stretch is all done. I know I feel amazing after that one. I hope you do too. This is awesome to add on just as a rest day, or maybe even before or after one of your other workouts. Can't wait to see you next time.